Hello and welcome to this podcast with me, Thomas. You may also know me from my slightly successful YouTube channel called @Thomas. And with me today is my co-host, Mr. Andrew Lawson.
Hello.
And basically, this podcast is... Don't laugh at me. Seriously, do not laugh at me. Not helpful.
It's already throwing you off, isn't it?
But in this podcast, what we're going to be discussing is the creation of our own comic book universes in which we discuss characters from Marvel and DC with those characters and situations and locations and favourite storylines and other things that we've just thrown in just to make the universe a little bit more interesting. So I hope you will be able to enjoy us, come and join us in this wonderful experience. And yes, but first of all, as you guys probably already know me quite well from my YouTube channel, I thought I would give this opportunity to Mr. Lawson over here to explain himself a little bit and tell us a little bit more about himself to the listeners. So,
okay.
Take it away.
Well, where shall I begin? Shall I talk about... my idea was to talk about sort of how we got into comic books and superheroes and all that business.
Fine.
Yeah, sounds like a good start.
Knock yourself out, mate. Knock yourself out.
Obviously, you can tell we're kind of constructing this from square one.
Just so everyone knows, I'm wearing my Captain America signet ring on this one. This is just so it's official.
I can testify to that, yeah.
Good. Now, start again.
So alright, okay, let's begin at the beginning. So superheroes and the history of superheroes with me. I suppose it's something that I've definitely always Batman has always been the big one for me. When I was little, I used to have a little Batman cape. My best friend had a Robin outfit, and we used to run around dressed as Batman and Robin. And I grew up. I think the first Batman film I ever saw was Batman and Robin. That was my first.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What do you mean Batman and Robin?
As
in
George
with
Clooney.
George Clooney.
Yeah, that was the first one, and I loved it. So there's still a piece of me, a special place in my heart for that film.
That explains a lot, Andrew. It really explains a lot.
I know it's really cheesy looking back on it now.
That's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
But also Uma Thurman, who was amazing.
Too true.
So it began with Batman for me. Okay. So I've always been interested in the darker, DC has always been more my favourite.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I think it was until... I hope the dictaphone's picking up the birds in the background. That was beautiful.
There is a bird outside the window. I don't know what it's doing. It's being very friendly to one another. But yes, carry on.
I didn't really get into superheroes until Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That blew me away.
2002.
Was it 2002?
It was 2002. Is it 2002? It's either 2002 or 2003.
I remember brilliant. I remember
I know that. I know it's one of them.
It's in the 2000s decade.
Oh yeah, no, well
It
done.
wasn't the 80s.
No. Shame. Just imagine that. Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man in the 1980s. He'd been 4.
Oh, so just as old as Tom Holland then. Yeah, that one blew me away, and that one's what really got me into him, got me more interested. But I was still more of a DC person.
Okay.
So however, I will state that since then, yeah, I'm even doing a finger gesture as a pointing, make a point of this.
Like a teacher.
Yeah. I have since sort of waned off superheroes. So
what did you accept? What did you say you would do
exactly,
this podcast?
In the time that I've I'm not
You've
like
done
the
your
biggest,
research. You've
yeah,
done
I've
your
done my
research. Okay,
I'm not like the biggest fan. I'm not going to be able to name issues, and I'm more of a film fan than I am comics. The gestures that Thomas has thrown out is beautiful, as he does in his videos as well. I'm sure you'll all recognise them.
Oh, he's a burning.
So my favourite superheroes, Harley Quinn was always my favourite. Original Harley Quinn, Animated Adventures, the fun Harley Quinn, not Arkham Asylum.
Okay, so from the comics. So when she was created, because she was created it in the animated TV series of Batman.
That's my favourite Harley.
Fair enough.
The Punisher.
Okay.
Is my favourite Marvel hero.
Okay, anti-hero. But
Anti-hero,
fair enough. Yeah,
as it may
fair enough.
be.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, I also like. I really like unusual characters like Onomatopoeia. Have you ever heard of Onomatopoeia? He's a villain, very bit part, created by filmmaker Kevin Smith.
Okay.
His gimmick is you're shaking your head. You're doing like you're mouthing no, as if there's
They
someone
can
else
see
here.
me. There is a mouth in that corner.
Oh god, he's looking at us. Yeah, he was created by filmmaker Kevin Smith. Part of I'm not sure whether it's Vertigo or DC. I think it might be DC, but he speaks all in onomatopoeic things. I don't think he's got any superpowers.
Okay.
So yeah, just strange things like that. I like the fringes of
Society.
the society of any pop culture, really.
That explains why he works in the department he works in at work.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about... So, okay, I think I've said enough. Thomas, can I pass it on to you? Can you tell me about your superhero history and your favourites and things like that?
Of course. Where would you like me to begin?
At the beginning. Carry on until the end and then stop.
Okay. Right, so very much like Andrew in the respect that I've only ever read 2 comic books in my life. It was one is an X-Men comic, and another one is the comic at the end of Civil War, the comic book run where Steve Rogers gets killed. They're the 2 comic books I've ever read. Everything else I know about comic book characters are from animated TV shows from when I was a child on a Saturday morning on either CBBC or CITV, living life in the 90s, woohoo, or the movies. And yeah, and so that's all I know. And then I'm just being that really nerdy person that just goes onto Wikipedia and then just finds the storylines that I particularly like, and then just read the whole synopsis of that storyline and just think, yeah, I don't even need to read the comic book. I know exactly what happens. I just know exactly what happens. God. I know the characters. I've no idea how the art looks, because apparently different comic books have got different art in them. Who knew?
Apparently.
Wow.
It's not all drawn by one person.
Wow, I always thought it was done by Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby, but apparently not.
That's how he's known to his friends.
But yeah, so but going back to the serious point, my favourite comic book character, well, there's 2. I love Captain America, and I also really, really like Cyclops from the X-Men. They're obviously both from Marvel, but my other one that I really, really like actually probably has to be, it actually probably has to be Superman, just simply down to the fact that I think Superman when I was a child and I watched the Christopher Reeve Superman films, I particularly like the first couple, I really kind of saw myself in that character. Not as in that, not being Superman, but more down to the fact that he was a kind of character that's not of this world, not of the place where he was, from somewhere completely different, and he's still trying to adjust to where he is, which really helped me.
Okay.
So, but other things that I really, so like I say, that's that. But yeah, so like I say, obviously storylines I don't really know much about. I just know the titles of certain stories. I know how things are meant to beginning, middle, and the end. But whatever happens, I have no idea. And the films, I've watched nearly all superhero films from Marvel since time immemorial. Not really. No, and then I'm kind of in and out of DC stuff, but I do enjoy DC. Okay. So it's... So
I kind of like that, because I think I like villains and dark things and anti-heroes and things like that. Yeah. So it sounds like... And DC
you're very good. So you do
the dark stuff.
Yeah, and I do the good stuff. See, brilliant partnership. What
Perfect.
Can I say? Great stuff. loving the way we're working here, mate. Loving the way we're working. So yeah, where would you like to go next?
I was going to ask something, but I completely forgotten. So that's brilliant.
This is where you know.
Have you got like a film? Yeah, good. Have you got like a certain superhero film that got you in, or do you have like a moment that you were like, ooh, or was it Superman? Was it Christopher?
No. It was. It sounds ridiculous, but it was.
As long as it was like the Great British Bake Off, you're like,
Yes, it was Paul Hollywood, and it was the very first time because I don't know if you guys ever watched the Great British Bake Off when it was a proper Great British Bake Off on the BBC. None of this Channel 4 malarkey bollocks. But when he did when he did the first double handshake. Now, obviously, when he just did the ordinary handshake, he said you did well. That meant nothing. But when he did the first double handshake, he knew it meant business. He knew you did well. And that was, so that's what got me into superheroes. I'm not gonna lie. No. It sounds really ridiculous. I remember going to me and my brother and my sister and our next door neighbour went to see Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
2003.
Yeah, 2002, 2000. Yeah, and I was kind of because I never really liked Superman. No, Spider-Man. Sorry, Spider-Man.
Well, that's good for you because you went to see Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I never really liked him on a Saturday morning TV shows. He was sort of he always seemed like a bit of a twerp, and I didn't really like him. His character kind of came across as not a particularly nice person.
Okay.
And I kind of, when I went into that film, I sort of carried on thinking about this. And it sounds horrible to say this.
No, go on.
But it was a turning point when Uncle Ben died. When Uncle Ben dies.
Right, the thing I said about Dark and Light, I changed my mind. Jesus.
But no, it was the point, and then
that's the point you got into superheroes.
No. That was the point that it changed my opinion on that character.
Right. Okay.
And then I didn't just see it as a silly sort of, half an hour on the TV or whatever it may be. It was these people are what they do.
Yeah, it's a person. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a person.
It's not just
and it's
costume, as it were.
And what they actually do have consequences. And if they don't do something that they're meant to do, like he's meant to do in that film, his consequences get serious, and someone he loves dies.
Well, like Uncle Ben said, what was the old saying that Uncle Ben used to say? With great shepherd pie
Well, see, like you say that, but I can tell you exactly what he really said in the actual comic book panel. It said,
go on.
"If the world gives you lemons, make lemonade." No, he didn't. He said, with great power comes great responsibility.
There we go.
But then again, that's actually not true. He's never actually... He originally, back in 1963, I want to say, when Spider-Man was created, Uncle Ben never said that.
Oh.
It's been something very similar to that. I can't remember the exact wording. I'm sure you can find it on Wikipedia. But no, he never actually said those until about... I want to say around 1988, they brought him back.
From the dead?
No, well, they did
rebooted it or something.
Well, sort of. Or they did like kind of a what if storyline, or they brought back a clone and then that clone died, or something like that. I can't really remember. And something was said like this, and this, and then that's where the whole with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah.
Okay. So that's also good because you know things I don't. I'm not going to be able to provide details like that. Okay, so cool. That's wicked. So, shall we talk about the podcast then?
Go on. Well, first of all, shall we come up with a name, first of all?
Right, okay.
Let's come up with the selected names that we're thinking about calling this podcast.
Okay.
You go first, Mr. Drew.
Well, I thought it would be cool to give it a sort of very... in-universe name, because I think DC and Marvel both do the same thing, where they've got like Earth 616 and stuff like that. So I thought if we called it Earth, and then gave it our own number, or Earth X, well there might be an Earth X there, surely. We could give it our own number then.
Or you could always just call it Earth AT or Earth TA
or Earth Orange. What about Earth Orange?
See, the only reason he said that is obviously because my favourite colour is orange, and all of my videos on my YouTube channel start with an orange faded.
Do you know what? I actually like this now, because...
That's very good.
I actually like this now.
It sounds
not Orange Earth, that sounds a bit weird.
Well,
Earth Orange. And then it could be like a code. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going with. But
Okay,
all right.
fair enough. Well, any other suggestions that you would like to bring to the table?
I guess I'm going to have to say Project Fish now.
Oh, see, you had to steal it, didn't you? You swine.
What were you going to say that way?
Yes, I was.
Oh my god, I thought it was going to be a joke.
No. Project... Yeah. Just so people know, it all started off at work, and I got in trouble for this.
We'll talk about... You got in trouble?
I got in trouble for that.
We'll talk about work in a minute. We'll talk about work in a minute.
Over the radio. Over the radio.
Did you?
No, because when we spent an afternoon basically just saying fish to each other over the radio.
I don't... What?
And
I don't remember that.
and yeah,
I must have passed out.
and then yeah, say it in an afternoon. Basically,
But it was like two exchanges, wasn't it?
no. Well, basically, what happened? I was on the radio to you,
Yeah.
and you said just come to my office. So I went over to his office, and then somehow we were talking, and then I
Oh my god, you did not.
I had the radio on in my pocket, and I turned it on, and all the people heard was fish, 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 and then I stopped it, and then then apparently I got in trouble for it, which I love. I'm like, but it's Andrew. I only said it once, but Andrew was the one who said it like 60 million times, and then that's just how we greet one another now is hi fish. That's what we.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Yeah, no. So,
Right, I think we need to clarify, but yeah, we have radios at work, don't we?
no, we just randomly walk around with radio.
We're bringing our own radios. We work at a supermarket. No, we work at a theatre. That's where we met.
Yes, darling, we did.
Not a movie theatre. How do we a play theatre? Is that the right?
No, a theatre with an auditorium where people come and see a show with live action actors on.
Yeah, not a movie theatre.
No,
right.
which is hilarious when we have so many people that come in and say, "What films you got on?" Got no films. Well, what are you showing? He goes, "We're showing a film with George Clooney." George Clooney's in the building? No. Why would George Clooney come to Coventry?
We've got Batman and Robin playing right now.
True. We actually.
I used to work at a cinema though, and we get the same questions. What films you got on? It's like, who turns up to a cinema not knowing what they're going to see? I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, I've done exactly the same thing. Were you here when I started singing over the radio?
Yes.
Oh god. So we've both done it.
No. Technically, because I didn't say anything on my one.
Fish.
Oh, you're the one who just said fish.
Oh, was it me?
Yes.
Oh, shish kebab. Oh my god.
But somehow I got in trouble. Which I think is hilarious.
Perfect.
It's not perfect at all. I should have written in and complained. With that tribunal still hanging over me.
Right, anyway.
I could get sacked for that.
So I'm going with Earth Orange and Project Fish.
Okay, well, I had one potential, which was a comical jaunt. But obviously, Andrew and I I was actually going to go with comical jaunt, even if Andrew had come up with something even better. But now that he said Earth Orange, I'm actually going to go with Earth Orange.
Ah, nice!
So Andrew's had his first little win on the podcast.
God, I'm so happy.
So yes, can I just say welcome to Earth Orange's podcast.
Wicked, I love it.
That's obviously the official podcast of the Actonis YouTube channel. And let us begin.
Wait. We need to talk about the concept.
Yes, we are going to talk about the I just wanted to do a proper intro.
We'll do it in the next episode.
Okay,
Which will be episode 1/2.
Okay, carry on. You can do the
I just
want to
clarify the premise and get clear in my mind, clear in everybody's mind. So basically, you came to me and you said you asked me if you wanted me to do this podcast, which I was very happy to do. So as far as I consider it, this is yours, and I'm helping out.
You're the co-host, Andrew. You're the co-host.
All right, but you're the host, so I'm just the co-pilot. So I'm just if you have to eject.
Fair enough. Okay.
I have to take the reins.
Okay, we can do that.
So
just so you know, you're not getting the password to my YouTube channel to upload this.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I'm sure you'll edit it in your own way. Anyway,
I'm sure I will.
Just take all the bits with me out.
Yeah. It'd be a really weird conversation.
Basically, the high concept of it was you saying to me that you want your own little slice, you want your own universe of Marvel and DC characters, yeah?
Well, two separate universes, yes.
Oh, okay, you don't want them intertwined?
No.
Maybe later?
No, that's just yes, maybe, do a crossover maybe in the future, but at the moment I want to try and keep it as separate as they are in reality.
So basically we take the characters from these universes, and we'll start sort of big, like the big celebrities, I suppose, of those universes, like Superman and Wolverine and things like that.
Potentially, yes,
Although
potentially.
we've got issues with Wolverine, apparently.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
So we'll
just
start with them, and then we'll create the stories, and are we going to talk about how we create the stories in the next one, or should we talk about it now?
We can start. We can talk about just one thing to so you guys know. My plan is to have a massive piece of paper with a big line on it, right? And then every time
It's got Simple Dreams.
yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I don't want a big mansion. I just want a box in an alleyway that doesn't leak.
I just want a big piece of paper with a line on it.
Yeah, no. And basically, what happens every because I don't want to talk about. We're not going to we occasionally we'll do the big storylines like Civil War or Decimation or whatever it may be.
Obviously, make them our own.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I want to talk about the really mundane stuff. The idea of when Mary Kent went up to the teenage Clark Kent's bedroom and found his dirty Y-fronts littered all over the bedroom floor, and she goes ballistic at him and says, "You need to sort this all out." And then he just flies out the window and says, "Screw this, I'm going home," and tries to fly back to Krypton. And then obviously he runs out of. He gets halfway there and thinks, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to go back and apologise." That's the sort of stuff. And then it's really just so we can understand what these characters are all about in our universe.
Okay.
In the what's we calling this universe again? The podcast.
Are you serious?
It's Orange X or X Orange.
Orange X. Earth Orange.
Earth Orange. Oh dear.
Orange fish.
That's not. No, we're not doing our orange fish.
Earth
Dear
fish.
Lord. Earth Orange.
Earth fish can be our Bizarro planet.
Yeah.
Where everything's
But
opposite.
yeah, so that's the sort of thing that I'm. But obviously, Andrew may, as he's been looking at me all the way
Yeah,
through that explanation, thinking we're not obviously going to do it like that, of course. But that's sort of a really simplistic, really out there.
But we're rewriting. I assume we're rewriting these characters.
Yes, of course we are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and their
of course,
stories.
of
Yeah.
course we are. Yeah, like just as I will put in the disclaimer, I don't want to be sued. So
Yeah. So this is all under fair use. I think
So we
fair
are.
use is the buzzword.
Yeah, so we're going to do this all under fair use. We're not going to
No profit.
Potentially no profit unless we want to get advertisement, and then we might have a little
okay.
bit of profit. But I doubt that's.
But
gonna
they're not
happen.
our characters.
No,
so
they're
we're
not our
recognising-
characters. We are not saying that we own any rights to anything to do with these characters. We're not going to say these are suddenly all of our own ideas and characters, because a lot of the stuff that I know will be the right from the some of the comic books and some of the movies. I'm sure the same thing with Andrew. But yes, so that's what you're getting out of me. Andrew, you may carry on.
Oh, right, apparently I have to carry on. Hang on. So how are we going to construct these? So the way that we talked about before was we're going to do it in acts, and we'll take it in turn. So we'll decide how many acts for each story. So if we start with pick a random character like Wonder Woman,
Okay.
and we say, okay, we're going to do the story of Wonder Woman coming to our world, coming to modern society, and we'll say, okay, this is going to have 5 acts.
Okay.
And it's got to include elements A, B, C, and D, which
Yeah.
will all be from the original Wonder Woman canon.
Yep.
So it'll be like, okay,
It
it's
doesn't
got,
necessarily have to do anything to do with the original storyline about her coming
yeah,
to.
the story itself we can change, but
yes.
but we'll say it's got to include the elements of, like, it's got to include Hera, and it's got to include,
Zeus
or it's got to include the Olympian
Yeah.
gods,
or a
and
man
so-
called Bob.
yeah, and then throw in an element like, and also it's got to include Green Arrow or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, and then we'll take it in turns, I assume. So
Yep.
we'll decide who does Act 1, and Act 2, Act 3, Act 4.
Well, no. I was
Okay.
that I agree with. But what I was going to say, what my initial idea was, but you may disagree with this, was we were both
Right.
going to come up with alternative versions of all the acts.
Oh, I see.
And
then
then-
decide at the end which acts.
Yeah,
what
and
version.
then if there's particular things that we like, say if you hated most of my ideas, but you loved the idea that when she arrived in the modern day, say she was in a costume, but she had no weapons.
Right. Okay. Ooh, interesting.
But in yours, she did have all the weapons.
But no costume.
No, but
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
But,
Yeah, yeah.
but we use,
Or even she hasn't got her powers.
yeah, well, yeah, but we use your initial idea, which is the whole idea of she's, you know, she's arrived and she goes straight into fighting the Joker or whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah.
But in your idea, she had all of her weapons with her,
Yeah.
and she was able to do it really easily.
Yes.
But
yeah.
because you've taken my idea where she was stripped of her weapons,
She has to find another way. Yeah.
yeah, and it became more of a fairer fight.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
And that was, but obviously things.
So we'll
evolved
discuss
into-
things like
yes,
that.
of course.
Okay. Cool. And then hopefully by the end, are we
We
gonna
haven't killed each other.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Are we going to take that act by act, or are we going to leave that to the end to discuss?
Well, I suppose really she should do it by act,
Right,
just simply
okay.
down to the fact that we probably won't remember if we're going to have like a 4 or 5 act
Yeah.
thing.
So
we will not
oh, that was crazy.
we
So
won't
what did we
remember.
actually say?
And then we'll have to put a break in where we go back and listen to it all.
Yeah.
And then be like,
There'll be some interval music.
yeah, and then it'll be like 7 hours of us trying to work out what the hell was going on there. And then we'll try and make a conclusion. But obviously we'll have to do it.
So I'm thinking for the first season we do 10 episodes, and then we do 10 heroes from Marvel and DC. Yeah, 5 each.
If you if you want to do something like that,
Just to keep us grounded for this.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
no problem, that's fine.
Because I'm sure it's going to be worth going.
Yes,
What else was I going to say? Something interesting.
fish.
Brilliant. Yeah, so just do high concept characters.
Well, not even that actually. You know, you could do like the really, you know, it all depends on like. Another thing that I think we need to discuss is how we're going to do this. Like the idea of the big piece of paper with the line down it.
Definitely need some paper involved.
There is, but it's going to be the starting. Well, I very much kind of stealing from the Marvel Cinematic Universe here.
Whoa! Borrowing.
All right, borrowing from the Marvel.
If you're listening, Marvel, we're
But
just borrowing it.
We are. The idea that the whole thing starts 2008, so nothing can happen after 2008 at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so
Nothing can happen after
yes,
2008.
so
Right. Okay.
okay, so the idea is just imagine the idea that
That
we
sounds very specific.
not very specific at all because
I'm sure you know what you're talking.
I do, because the idea, just think, in our DC universe that we're creating, and that is when Superman becomes a public figure.
Right.
So before that,
Oh, I see.
he was known, he was just this blur that no one really knew what happened.
Right.
It was 2008. He decided, you know something, enough's enough. I'm going to stand up there with my costume on and my big S, put my hands on my hips and say, I am Sven.
Sven!
Yeah, no, and it's that whole idea of, but of course, if you disagree with that, then we are more than happy to.
No, yeah, we can work like that, definitely.
And then then once we've kind of got up to that point of where characters become, even though things will have happened before that and they'll become public, but I want the whole idea of that's going to be kind of like, and then we can do all of the really big stuff. So the idea,
Right.
so the idea after 2008, that's where, say, the Joker invents his Joker toxin,
Right.
and he then puts it in the water system of Gotham.
We will need an event, won't we? We need to think
Of
an event.
course, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, if we do all the little tiny bits of the character creation
Right.
before 2008,
Okay.
then we can then once that happens, we can then start doing the big events and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Right.
That's what I'm. But obviously, it'll be a collaboration, and
All right.
he looks as if he's going to kill me. I'm not going to lie. The glint in Andrew's eye right there was, if you don't stop talking, I will hurt you.
So I'm just going to ask, how long are we going to aim for episode length, just to give people a good idea? Are we going to say an hour?
I'm thinking an hour.
Okay.
I'm just simply down to
Sometimes under, sometimes over.
it's going to usually be under. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, wow.
It will be usually under an hour, but there'll be most likely a bit of padding. with us laughing. But it will make the main core of this will be will be basically an hour, and the occasional kind of Andrew, stop hitting me. But
I love how fake that sounded. Like you were putting it out with fake. Andrew, stop hitting me, you devil.
Yes. No. But yeah, basically, it's going to. Of course, there'll be occasion. Most likely, there probably will be kind of. Most of them will be an hour, but obviously, some of them will be under, some of them will be over.
Right.
But yeah, it all depends on how interested we both of us are in the character and the scenario that we're placing said character in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Subscribe and like to Actor Thomas.
If you want to, yes, you
on
can.
YouTube.
Yeah, if you want, and just so yes, if you really want to, you can subscribe and like and leave a comment and.
You need to press that bell, don't you? Nowadays.
If you really no, if you don't, I really don't mind. I don't care anymore.
You upload pretty regularly, don't you?
I try to, but this also, just so you know, this will be going out on a Monday instead of my usual Sunday. Well, and as well as my normal Sunday video. So yes, so you're going to have 2 videos a week.
Woo-wee.
Wow!
It's just going to be a video. You're not going to upload it as audio.
It is. It's just going to have an orange background and potentially an illustration.
Oh, we might have to get some art. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also, if you want to, you can
so much.
you can become the official member of this podcast by emailing in. The email address will be connected to my YouTube channel. I don't even know it's a massively long thing, and I'm not even trying to remember it. But you can do that, and you can send an email to me. If you put in podcast as the subject matter, it will be put into a separate folder, and me and Andrew will look at them. And then we can, and then obviously, if you want to say, I want to be the official drawer of, say, of a fish for the
we accept fan mail as well.
Orange World Orange podcast. Then
Earth
please
Orange. You're struggling with this one, isn't it?
I really am. I'm not going to lie.
I was so excited when he said, "Yeah, we're going to go with it." He's quiet 2 minutes later.
Why do you think I struggle at work? I forget things so easily.
Relatable.
I'm like, I'm walking down the corridor. Someone's told me to go and get something from the offices. I'm like, yeah. 2 minutes later,
same.
why am I in this lift? What's going on?
I'll just go up anyway. See what's up there.
Yeah. And if I fall over, I fall over. Job's good 'un. But no, I'm going to get some money. I'm going to cut that out, don't worry.
You're going to cut that? Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to cut out the fact that I try and fall over at work.
You've got a Patreon, it's Patreon, haven't you?
Yes, but as we've already mentioned, we're potentially not going to make any money out of
I don't
this.
really understand Patreon, so I'm not sure if people can just join it and not.
No.
Okay.
Basically, if you are, my Patreon is on my link under all of my videos, but I haven't got any Patrons yet. But it's
not yet.
No, I've had it for 2 years and it's just not happening.
Soon, every patron is going to get a big piece of paper with a line across it
with some words. Occasionally there'll be like a little pointer, and then it'll just become like, Orange World episode number 2.
Earth Orange.
Earth Orange. Sorry. Earth Orange number 2. Like episode number 2, Superman comes to Earth.
Oh,
and then that will be like the starting point for the DC one, which will be.
That's what you get if you just give us money. That piece of paper.
Yeah, and then potentially there might be T-shirts.
Ooh.
With our faces on.
We could do with a logo. We haven't even done the first episode yet. We're talking about.
Well, we are. We're doing quite well.
How long are we in?
We've done 34 minutes or something.
We're over already. We only said this would be half an hour. Right, should we wrap it up?
No, this is gold. This is goldness. I'm liking
this.
We're
going to do the first episode in a minute.
Yes, really? We already do it. Fair enough. Let's do this then.
We might as well give it a go.
Good. Okay.
Right, so welcome to Earth Orange.
Hang on, no. Wait, I need to fit.
I know, but I'm just saying. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Earth Orange. I've just taken it over, apparently. I'm not the Thanos of this universe.
He might be. Who knows? He's got a purple face and a big gold glove.
That's pretty much what I look like in real life.
You do. But yes, no, you can finish off the wrap up if you like.
If you want to give the outro, it's yours.
No. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to this wonderful Orange Earth podcast.
Nailed it. It's okay.
If you have enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you desire. If you would like, you can join my Patreon. The link will be down below. And as I do on each and every one of the end of my videos, I shall give you a little salute and say, see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.